William Carter was a 40-year-old millionaire, a man who lived in a world of glass towers and tailored suits. He had built his empire from nothing after losing his parents early on, and he thought he understood people. But there was one thing that still terrified him: choosing the wrong person to raise his 6-year-old son, Noah. Noah's mother had passed away suddenly, leaving a silence in their home that no amount of money could ever fill. William longed to find someone kind, genuine, and patient, someone who would love Noah for the boy he was, not for the size of his inheritance. Yet every woman he met seemed more interested in his bank account than in his heart. One evening, after another disappointing dinner with a woman who talked more about shopping than about children, William sat alone on his penthouse balcony. The city glittered below, loud and restless. He had an epiphany. If he wanted to find someone real, he had to leave his world of wealth behind. The very next morning, he did something no one would have ever expected. He put on old clothes, smudged dirt on his face, left his expensive watch and phone at home, and walked out of his building looking like a man who had lost everything. His goal was simple: to see how people treated someone who had nothing to offer them. The first day was brutal. People ignored him, turned away, or pretended he didn't exist. A businessman shoved past him without an apology. A woman dropped her coffee cup and blamed him for standing too close. A teenager even laughed at his appearance. William wasn't angry. He was heartbroken. If this was how people treated a stranger in need, what hope was there for genuine kindness in the world? He started to wonder if his search was pointless, if a heart of gold was just a fairy tale. On the third day, as he sat cold and exhausted outside a hospital entrance, he felt a gentle tap on his shoulder. A soft voice said, "Sir, you look freezing. Please take this." He looked up and saw a woman in simple clothes, holding a faded blue jacket. She wasn't young or glamorous, but her eyes were filled with a warmth he hadn't seen in years. Her name tag read, Maria Janitor. William tried to refuse, but she insisted, draping the jacket around his shoulders with a tenderness that spoke volumes. Then she handed him a sandwich, the only one she had for her lunch break. "Eat, please," she said, with a small smile. Nobody deserves to go hungry. Before he could properly thank her, she hurried back inside to work. William sat there, stunned, watching her go. He felt something shift inside his chest, a mix of guilt and a glimmer of hope. For the next 3 days, Maria continued her quiet acts of kindness. She brought him food, sometimes sitting beside him for a few minutes during her short break, sharing a moment of silence, despite her exhausting job. She never asked for his name or his story. She never judged him. She simply cared. On the 7th day of his experiment, William finally found his voice. "Why do you help me?" he asked her. Maria just shrugged softly. "Because I've been where you are," she replied. "Lost, invisible. And because my mother taught me that kindness is a choice we make, especially when life has been unkind to us." Her words echoed in his mind long after she went back inside. He knew his search was over. The next morning, William returned to the hospital. This time, he was himself, again dressed in a sharp suit, clean-shaven, unmistakably a man of immense wealth. When Maria saw him, she didn't recognize him at first. But then, as he began to speak, she realized he was the same man she had given her sandwich to. Her eyes widened in disbelief. "I wanted to thank you properly," William said gently. "So many people just walked past me. But you didn't. You saw a human being." Maria looked embarrassed, almost apologetic. "Anyone would have done the same," she murmured. "No," William replied firmly. "Not anyone." Over the next few weeks, he visited her often, not as a millionaire, but as a friend. He learned about her life as a single mother, working 2 demanding jobs. A woman who had faced incredible hardship, but had never lost her capacity for kindness. He introduced her to Noah, and his heart soared as he watched them together. She read to his son, listened to his stories. Kant treated him with a natural, unconditional love that no amount of money could ever buy. In those moments, William realized he hadn't just found kindness. He had found the woman he hoped would one day become Noah's mother. When the millionaire and the janitor eventually built a life together, the world was shocked. People whispered and judged, but William didn't care. He had learned a lesson that had changed him forever. Real wealth isn't measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in our shared humanity. And real love doesn't care about the clothes you wear or the money you have. It only cares about the person you are on the inside. His search for a mother for his son had led him to a profound truth. The greatest treasures in life are often found when we have the courage to look beyond the surface. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more content that inspires.